This word right here, hate. This is what NRL social media looks like right now. Just this one word which can describe all of it. Just non-stop hate, abuse, and outrage. Referees are getting death threats. Coaches mocked after every loss. Young players with so much pressure on their shoulders getting slammed for a simple mistake. And the NRLW consistently disrespected, ignored, and mocked. It's not just trolls on the internet anymore. Creators, before I make this sound like every NRL creator is a bad person, there's really good NRL creators out there. But there are NRL creators who are just fueling this. Algorithms are rewarding people sitting in front of a camera, just hating, sending death threats to people with and they also have clickbait thumbnails as well, which is something we'll get to. And they do this, and they keep doing it now because they know they'll get a bunch of money from it. It's slowly turning the NRL community toxic. In this video, I will talk about how the hate has taken over NRL YouTube, TikTok, and all other socials. Why it's getting worse, and how we can change it. Because footy is meant to bring us together and not rip us apart. So, let's begin. So, I'm going to be talking over some main talking points, also giving examples from people on the internet who are not representing the NRL community right. They're true out, full haters, and we'll talk about a bunch of examples and a bunch of main points. So we're kicking off of Ollie's points. Yeah, we'll call them Ollie's points. With number one being a growing toxic culture in the NRL social media. Hate farming equals more views, which equals more incentive for creators to keep being toxic. I mentioned this at the start. People who have really hatred to these guys, a lot of them sit in front of the camera, or sometimes even on live TV, just to hate on people. And they get a bunch of money for it. Especially on YouTube, which I'm mainly talking about. They say some horrible stuff. Rude stuff, just general hate, which I know it's going to be a word I'm going to be saying a lot. They say that in front of the camera. They also have a pretty clickbait thumbnail as well, with clickbait title and all that. And YouTube are paying them a bunch of money for it. I understand they're bringing so many views to YouTube, but YouTube here, once again I'll talk about this later, but they should do something. Okay, maybe rewarding these guys so much for just being general haters. Try and reward people who are not seeing from the camera and just hating on people, actually making good content and content that people learn from. You know, stuff like that. Number two, all these points. We'll talk about referee abuse. Every Origin, Grand Final, Finals game, even just NRL games in general, there will always be referee abuse. There will always be on the internet. People always on the internet will think there is a referee crisis. In this video right here, by good friend, fellow creator, the Leaguey, he talked about the NRL's refereeing crisis, but he mainly didn't talk about how the ref was bad, showing hate. He didn't do any of that. He was generally just talking about how the internet and social media has made it feel like we've had that, and he's also mentioned how we've just had this for years. We will always have a refereeing crisis in the NRL according to the internet, even when the NRL is at one of its best times right now. Referees just getting death threats. It's horrible. It's not okay. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Hate comments, and they're more or less, okay? But still, really bad things. Then it does get to the things of death threats, just horrible things. And it's sad to see, we've heard stories of referees not even wanting to leave their house. Like, seriously, these are actual people, and so many people shout them. Like, we're all rugby league fans. I'm sure we've all had a good shout at the referee before, but some of us decide to actually, let's go talk about calling out someone and just general hating. Calling out can either be good or bad. You call someone out for doing something wrong or making a mistake, and hopefully they can learn from that. It's not being generally rude, it's just being factual and, yeah, respectful. Then there's going to people's Instagram, YouTube comments and just hating and saying, oh, I'm gonna come to your house, stuff like that. You made this call wrong, I'm gonna kill you, something. You don't, I say that as like it's never gonna happen, but it happens. Consistently it happens. Okay, let's talk about the coaches. Coaches get just so much hate. Every sport, there will be hate to referees. I know a lot of rebuilding teams at the bottom, they will get a lot of hate from fans. And I know sometimes we all like to have say, oh, they probably get sacked. But you know, we're not going on to the internet shouting at the camera and saying, get this guy out of here. He's, you know, I hope you know what I mean. If you don't, perfectly okay. But it's just saying these horrible things, and then there's also a difference when you say just something, oh, I don't think this guy's just a job, you know, stuff like that. So there's two, I think something that you should take out of this video is there's like two ways to do it. There's two ways. There's a good way to call something out, and there's a bad way, which is just general hate, and I think, I'm pretty sure people go get fined, jail time, stuff for that. Obviously not making YouTube videos, but just generally going to Instagram and then messaging a coach, referee, player, and just hating on them. Now we're going to talk about player abuse. Players cop hate for a bad game. It always happens. I know the referees is the main subject, and I'm also going to talk about the NRL in a second, but the players get it a lot. These guys are the best of the best. They made it. They achieved their dreams and made it. And then they go to the NRL, and then they just got their own fans and others just saying, these guys can't play football. They should get down to the reserve squad. Horrible players. And then if they miss a try, the ground, probably miss a kick, and then that's when death threats start coming in. They've got so much pressure as well, especially like young players. Galvin, let's just say Galvin. I don't know of anything that's happened to Galvin, but I'm just saying it's something that's possible. If he makes a big mistake for the Bulldogs side this season, which cost them the title, I'm gonna feel incredibly bad for him. First of all, he'll be very upset with himself that he wasn't able to do this try or pass, maybe forward pass or something, and then also he'll get all that hate from fans. Now we're gonna go talk about the NRLW. Now, I've talked about a whole video about how great the NRLW is. I've talked about how it's also been affected so much by people just hating on social media, and that's why I thought it was important to also talk about this in this video, and even the entire idea for the video. Even though I'm probably not the right person to talk about this. I just put a bunch of stuff together. But the NRLW is disrespected a lot, okay? If you think they can't play rugby league, they definitely can, and they have proved that. But keep your opinion to yourself. I think people do deserve their opinions, and that's why I'm saying calling stuff out can be good sometimes, if they do it in the right way. And having opinions in general, if they do this stuff, if they do it in the right way when they're calling someone out, it's all good. And if you wanna be, if you have a really opinion, just don't share it with anyone, or share it with your mates or something. Just keep it off the internet. And I'm hoping you understand that, but like, because I understand there'll be people with those opinions and stuff, and I'm like, okay, sometimes even I have opinions like that. But I'm not going on the internet to just generally hate into the person. I just say something with like a mate or two. You know, not putting that on the internet. You get constant things like no one watches this, they lose to like an under 12s thing, which is not true. They would destroy an under 12s thing. I'm just saying. And why is this even on? What is the point? And the point is that it's good rugby league to watch. It's interesting, especially when the rugby league season, the main season, is not on, because I believe they're at different times. I think they end different times, but this is just something people and everyone would consistently see on social media. There's so many great female players, and they just get them. A lot of them get hate regardlessly of how they play, just because they're a woman playing NRL. It makes no sense. No sense at all. And a lot of this makes no sense because there's no purpose to do this hating and stuff to these people. We'll talk about some certain stuff, a bit more descriptive examples in a second. But, well, not in a second, but after I finish these points, which should be soon. As I said at the start, platforms need to do better. YouTube, TikTok, X, they need to check this stuff. I understand they do it, especially for small creators like me. They probably don't check it unless you're going to go report it. They need to try and have a look at more stuff, especially if they see it correctly or something. And I understand you don't want to pay the people for doing the video, and that's like it's like their job for these people, okay? But maybe try and reduce the amount of money they're getting, or maybe even no money at all, because it's not okay. They need to be teach a lesson, and they need to find something better than just hating on people on the internet. And final point here is it really just impacts the game, okay? It drives people away from the sport because they believe it's a negative environment, makes the NRL community look immature and toxic. Players, refs, or coaches are less likely to engage with fans when all they get is hate. One of my favourite things about going to Eagles games is not even the game itself. It's after, when all my favourite players come around the field, go see us, high five, selfies, stuff like that. It's so fun. It's a moment that I will always remember. And this stuff will stop. They won't be happening much anymore if all they're getting is hate. The referees, if all they get is hate, death threats, and making them not even want to leave their house, we're not going to be able to get new referees in the future. Like, I know there's a lot of atheists who say we should get new referees, but how we can get new referees when no one wants to be a referee because they get so much hate. Finally, for the final point, which would be number 8 if you weren't counting, it is a call to action. Encourage respectful discussions. Calling out something respectfully should be encouraged. Highlight creators who cover footy positively. It's something I'll be doing really soon. Push for more support to players, referees while they're under fire. When they're getting stuff like this, support them. Make a statement about how you guys support. Now, let's talk about the channel in general, and also a few examples of where this has happened really badly. Obviously, if you've known the channel for a bit, we're going to talk about the Leaguey, which I previously mentioned, because I think he's one of the best examples of an NRL YouTuber we should be praising. In my opinion, I know there might be people who argue, go check out his content because it's really good, and I would suggest, I wanted to use the Leaguey as an example here because I call him the hero of NRL social media. He calls stuff out, he's also quite respectful for it, and when things he called out, he does go on the comments respectfully and calls them out. Questions decisions on why you're using this clickbait thumbnail, but also not saying, oh, you're a horrible person, calling a bunch of names for using this. In this video, which I mentioned earlier, I know I mentioned a lot of things earlier, I don't think you would have remembered, but anyway, when I talked about his video, the NRL's referee crisis, he called out a man named Paddy G. Recently discovered his channel, it's actually really good, so shout out to him, I might tag him in it so you can see this video. And he was talking about how he was one of the people who used clickbait thumbnail, and Paddy G respectfully commented back, great video, definitely went overboard with the title, the clickbait thumbnail, it was not regularly warranted. And that is stuff I like to see. Leaguey, good job on calling out. Also being quite respectfully. Very respectful. And Padgy with a great response. Not saying hate stuff to the Leaguey. Agreeing with certain things he said about how we clickbait thumbnail. And he went and I looked at his channel and he changed the title, he changed the thumbnail, so good job to him. Now, there's a few, here's a channel, their name is the Carols Bros. I'm completely butchered that because that's what I normally do, but, so the League used to call them out, but except for that, we'll forget about the League for a second. Well, actually, one more thing of the League, he called them out on a video they made about the NRL. And that video about the NRL was talking about how they were saying, oh, this is what people like mental problems do, and basically completely making fun in a horrible way to the NRLW player, specifically Isabella Kelly, the captain of the New South Wales Blues, when she wasn't able to ground that ball fully in Game 3 of Women's Origin, and they were horrible to her, and they clearly didn't even see the press conference after the game, because she was crying in tears. Even though she'd already helped them win Origin, she's crying in tears. It was really sad to see. And the Carols Bros I don't necessarily see them as bad people. I like actually watching their stuff sometimes. I see their clips. I like the wrestling stuff. I like some of their stuff they do, but then there's also some stuff which is just not okay. But generally, no hate to them. You should go check them out for the videos they do and are quite interesting. But then there are some which they shouldn't be rewarded with hating. Okay, now we're going to talk about a man named Bew. I know, 16 minutes, taking a long time, maybe not be something like that. It's about to turn like 17 soon. I don't know if I edit it or not. But a man named Bew. This guy went to New South Wales Blues player Liam Martin and was horrible to him. When I say horrible, absolutely horrible. This is a great example of someone messaging someone a player on Instagram and saying horrible stuff. Now I'm gonna put it up here. I don't necessarily want to read it. You can pause it, you can read it if you want, but it's horrible. This stuff is horrible. It should not be. This is Bew. Is not. You don't want to be a person like this. You don't want these type of people in the NRL social media community. And that is how I'm gonna end off. Final call to action. Remember what I said earlier. Go check it out earlier a few minutes ago if you couldn't remember about my call to action. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end, you are greatly appreciated. Even though if you are here just to write hate comments or call out an editing mistake or something like that, but I don't mind. You've made it to the end. What a journey we've been through. Probably one of the longest videos I've made. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.